Welcome to Nightmare Fuel Stories. The watchman the night shift at Blackwater Security was supposed to be easy money. 6 monitors, 8 hours, and nothing to do but stay awake. That's what they promised when I took the job 3 months ago. Just keep an eye on things, my supervisor said during my orientation. Most nights, nothing happens. I believed him. For 11 weeks, nothing did happen. Until tonight, the rain hammers against the small windows of the security office, a windowless box tucked away in the basement of the Meridian building. It's an old structure from the 1930s, renovated multiple times, but still maintaining that Art Deco charm that makes downtown look like something from another era. 12 stories of offices, most of them occupied by investment firms, insurance companies, and a handful of tech startups that couldn't afford the glassy high-rises across town. My desk faces a wall of 6 monitors, each displaying 4 camera feeds and a grid, 24 views of empty hallways, stairwells, the parking garage, and the building's perimeter. The night cleaning crew left 2 hours ago. Now it's just me, alone in a building designed to hold hundreds. I sip my coffee, already cold despite being poured less than 20 minutes ago. The basement always feels colder than it should, especially during rainy nights like this one. The building seems to absorb the dampness, holding it in its concrete bones. Camera 17 shows the north stairwell, floors 1 through 12. The feed cycles through each floor every 10 seconds, nothing unusual there. Camera 18, the south stairwell, does the same. Cameras 1 through 8 cover the lobby and first floor. 9 through 16 cycle through the remaining floors. 19 through 24 monitor the parking garage and building perimeter. I check my phone, 1:17 a.m., almost 7 hours to go. The building creaks above me, settling as old buildings do. I'm used to the sounds by now, the hum of the ventilation system, the occasional ping from the elevator shaft, the subtle moans of steel and concrete adjusting to temperature changes. Tonight, though, something feels different. The creaks seem more deliberate somehow, less random. I shake off the thought. 3 months of night shifts has made me prone to finding patterns where none exist. My eyes drift back to the monitors. Nothing unusual. I reach for my thermos to refill my coffee cup. That's when I notice it. On camera 11, which is currently showing the 8th floor, there's movement. Just a shadow, really, passing quickly at the edge of the frame. If I hadn't been looking directly at the screen, I would have missed it entirely. I sit up straight, suddenly alert. The camera cycles to the 9th floor, then the 10th. I wait impatiently for it to return to the 8th floor. 10 seconds pass. The camera returns to the 8th floor. Nothing there. I frown, leaning closer to the monitor. Maybe it was just a shadow cast by a passing car outside, but the 8th floor is too high for that. Besides, the blinds are drawn on all the windows after hours, company policy. I pull up the security system on my computer and access the recorded footage from camera 11. I rewind to a minute ago and watch carefully. There it is, a dark shape moving across the edge of the frame. It's too indistinct to make out any details. Could be a person, could be something else. I can't tell. Protocol says I should call it in if I see any unauthorized personnel in the building after hours. But what would I say? That I saw a shadow. My supervisor already thinks I'm jumpy after I called him last month about what turned out to be a janitor working late. I decide to keep watching. If I see it again, I'll call it in. I return my attention to the live feeds, eyes darting between monitors looking for any sign of movement. For 10 minutes, nothing happens. The building remains still and silent. Then on camera 14, the 11th floor, another shadow. This one moves differently, more deliberately, crossing from one doorway to another, still too dark and quick to identify. My heart rate picks up. Someone is in the building. I reach for the phone and dial the number for my supervisor, Mark. It rings 4 times before going to voicemail. Hey Mark, it's Daniel at Meridian. I've got movement on the upper floors, camera 11 and 14. Can't make out who it is, but someone's definitely in the building. Call me back. I hang up and immediately regret not being more insistent. I should have told him to call me immediately. I should have made it clear this wasn't like last time. I pull up the building's tenant list on my computer. No one is authorized to be in the building this late. The cleaning crew left at 11 p.m. and they're always gone by 11:30. It's now 1:26 a.m. Camera 12 now showing the 9th floor, another shadow moving from right to left. This one seems taller somehow, though it's hard to tell with the camera angle. I feel a chill that has nothing to do with the basement's temperature. 3 sightings on 3 different floors in less than 15 minutes. Either there are multiple people in the building, or someone is moving between floors very quickly. The phone remains silent. Mark hasn't called back. I check the emergency protocols manual. In case of suspected intrusion, 1. Verify presence of unauthorized personnel. 2. Contact supervisor. 3. If supervisor unavailable, contact police non-emergency line unless immediate danger is present. I've done steps 1 and 2. Now for step 3. I dial the police non-emergency number. City Police Department non-emergency line. Hi, this is Daniel Weiss, night security at the Meridian Building downtown. I've observed what appears to be unauthorized personnel on multiple floors of the building. Can you describe what you've seen? The dispatcher sounds bored. Just shadows, really, moving across camera feeds on the 8th, 9th, and 11th floors. No one should be in the building at this hour. A pause. Shadows. I can hear the skepticism in her voice. Yes. The lighting is dim after hours, but something or someone is definitely moving around up there. Have you gone to investigate? No. Protocol says I'm supposed to remain at my post and call it in. Another pause. I see. Well, we can send a patrol car to drive by, but honestly, sir, if all you've seen are shadows, it's likely nothing to worry about. Old buildings settle, could be playing tricks on you. I know what I saw, I say, trying to keep the frustration out of my voice. Something is moving up there. All right, Mr. Weiss, we'll have a car drive by within the hour. In the meantime, keep monitoring the situation. Call back if you see anything more concrete. The line goes dead. I set the phone down, feeling both relieved that help is coming and annoyed that they're not taking me seriously. I turn back to the monitors, all quiet now. No movement on any of the feeds, until camera 19 catches my eye. It shows the parking garage entrance. A car is pulling in a dark sedan, its headlights cutting through the gloom. I check the time, 1:38 a.m., far too early for any employees to be arriving. The car parks in a visitor spot near the elevator. The driver's door opens, but the angle of the camera prevents me from seeing who gets out. I quickly switch to camera 20, which should show the area from another angle. There's no one there, the car door is open, but there's no sign of the driver. I feel a knot forming in my stomach. Something is very wrong. Camera 21 shows the elevator in the parking garage. It's empty, doors closed. I watch as the indicator light comes on. Someone has called the elevator. The doors open. No one enters. The doors remain open for several seconds, then close. The indicator shows the elevator is going up. My hands are trembling now. I reach for the phone again, this time to call 911, but stop when I glance at camera 1, which shows the main lobby. The elevator indicator there shows the car descending from the parking level. It stops at the lobby. The doors open, no one exits. The doors close again and the elevator begins to move once more, this time heading up. It stops at the 3rd floor. Camera 9 shows the 3rd floor elevator lobby. The doors open. Again, no one exits or enters. The doors close and the elevator continues upward. My phone rings, startling me so badly I nearly fall out of my chair. It's Mark. Daniel, what's going on? Mark, thank God. There are people in the building, or something. I can't see them clearly, but they're moving between floors. There's a car in the garage, but I couldn't see who got out. The elevators are moving on their own. Whoa, slow down, Mark says. Are you sure about this? Remember last month? This isn't like last month, I interrupt. I've seen movement on multiple cameras. The elevators are moving with no one in them. Something is seriously wrong. Mark is quiet for a moment. Okay, have you called the police? Yes, but they're just sending a patrol car to drive by. They didn't seem to take it seriously. All right, sit tight. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Don't leave the security office. I wasn't planning to, I assure him. After hanging up, I turn back to the monitors. The elevator has stopped at the 8th floor. Camera 11 shows the elevator doors opening. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, just as the doors begin to close, I see it, a dark figure stepping out. It's still mostly shadow, but this time I can make out a vaguely human shape, but something's not right about the proportions. The figure seems too tall, its limbs too long and thin. I feel a cold sweat breaking out on my forehead. My mouth goes dry. The figure moves quickly out of frame. The camera cycles to the 9th floor, then the 10th. By the time it returns to the 8th, there's nothing there. I check the other cameras, nothing on any of them. Then camera 17, the north stairwell. As it cycles through the floors, I catch a glimpse of movement on the 6th floor landing. Something dark moving upward. Camera 18, the south stairwell, 4th floor. Another shadow, this one moving down. My heart is pounding now. There are at least 3 of them in the building, maybe more. I grab the phone and dial 911. 911, what's your emergency? This is Daniel Weiss at the Meridian Building downtown. There are intruders in the building, multiple intruders. They're on the 4th, 6th, and 8th floors. I need police here immediately. Sir, can you describe these intruders? I hesitate. What can I say? That they're shadows, that they don't look quite human. I can't see them clearly, I admit. The night lighting is minimal, but they're moving between floors using both elevators and stairwells. Are you in immediate danger, sir? I don't think so. I'm in the security office in the basement. But something is very wrong here. We'll dispatch officers right away. Stay on the line with me if you can. I need to watch the monitors, I tell her. I need to see where they're going. Okay, sir. But please call back immediately if you feel threatened. I hang up and return my full attention to the screens. Camera 12, 9th floor. A shadow moves across the frame from one office door to another. Camera 15, 12th floor. Another figure, this one standing still at the end of the hallway, as if looking directly at the camera. I feel a chill run down my spine. The figure doesn't move for several seconds. Then slowly it raises one impossibly long arm and points directly at the camera, directly at me. The feed from camera 15 suddenly goes black. No, 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 I mutter, frantically typing on my keyboard to try to restore the connection. Nothing happens. Camera 15 remains dark. Camera 14 now, 11th floor. Another figure stands at the end of the hallway looking at the camera. It too raises an arm and points. The feed goes black. One by one, the cameras on the upper floors go dark. Whatever these things are, they're taking out the security system methodically, floor by floor. By 1:52 a.m., all cameras above the third floor are offline. My phone rings again. It's Mark. I'm 5 minutes away, he says. Any updates? Mark, they're disabling the cameras. All feeds above the third floor are down. I called 911. Police are on their way. Good, stay put. I'll come straight to the security office when I arrive. I hang up, feeling a small measure of relief. Mark will be here soon. The police are coming. Everything will be fine. Camera 3 shows the back entrance to the building. Something moves in the shadows near the door. I lean closer to the screen, trying to make out details. The door opens. No one seems to enter, but the door closes again. They're coming in. Camera 4, the back hallway leading to the stairwell. A shadow moves quickly across the frame, heading toward the stairs. Camera 5, the hallway leading to the basement. Empty for now. Camera 6, the stairwell down to the basement. Something is there, moving downward, coming toward me. My breath catches in my throat. I should lock the door. The security office has a heavy metal door with a deadbolt. I should lock it right now. I stand up, move toward the door. As I reach for the deadbolt, I hear something in the hallway outside. A soft scraping sound, like long fingernails dragging across the wall. I freeze, my hand on the lock. The scraping stops directly outside the door. Silence. I hold my breath, not daring to move. A soft tap on the door, then another. Not a knock exactly, more like something testing the door, feeling it. My phone vibrates in my pocket. I slowly pull it out, keeping my eyes fixed on the door. A text from Mark, pulling up now, be there in 2 mins. I want to text back to warn him, but I'm afraid to make any sound. The thing outside the door might hear me typing. Another tap on the door, harder this time. The handle turns slowly, but the door doesn't open. It's already locked, I realize with a rush of relief. I must have locked it earlier out of habit when I came on shift. The handle keeps turning back and forth now with increasing force. Whatever is out there wants in. My phone vibrates again. Another text from Mark, in the lobby, elevator or stairs. I carefully type back, don't come down, call police. Something ATMY door. I hit send and immediately silence my phone completely. The handle stops turning. The thing outside seems to be considering its next move. Then I hear it, a soft, wet sound, like something sliding across the door. Up and down, side to side, as if it's feeling the door with something other than hands. A new sound follows, a quiet clicking noise. Rhythmic, almost like a language. Click, click, pause, click, 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 pause, click. My legs feel weak. I back away from the door, moving as silently as possible until I bump into my desk. I glance at the monitors. Camera 7 shows the hallway outside the security office. There's nothing there, but something is at my door. I can hear it. I look more closely at camera 7. The hallway is empty, but there's something wrong with the image. A distortion, like heat waves rising from hot pavement. The distortion moves, shifting position in front of my door. They don't show up on cameras, not clearly. My phone lights up with another text from Mark. Police are here, staying in lobby. What's happening? I type back. Thing ATMY door, see it on camera. Just distortion. The clicking at my door grows louder, more insistent. The handle begins to turn again, rattling now with significant force. Then it stops, silence again. On camera 1, I can see Mark in the lobby with 2 police officers. They're looking at a phone, probably reading my texts. One officer speaks into his radio. The distortion in the hallway outside my door suddenly moves, quickly heading toward the stairwell. It's leaving. I feel a momentary sense of relief, quickly replaced by a new fear. It's heading upstairs, toward Mark and the officers. I grab my phone and call Mark. Daniel, are you okay? He answers immediately. It's coming up the stairs, I say, my voice shaking. It was at my door, but now it's heading your way. You need to get out of the building. The officers are going to check the stairwells, Mark says. Just stay where you are. No. Tell them not to split up. These things, there are several of them. They've been disabling the cameras floor by floor. Things, what are you talking about? I don't know what they are, Mark. They move like shadows. They don't show up clearly on camera, just distortions. There's a pause. I can hear Mark speaking to the officers, his voice muffled as if he's covering the phone. The officers are going to come down to you, he says finally. One will take the elevator, one will take the stairs. I'm staying in the lobby where I can see both. Tell them to be careful, I plead. These things, they're not normal. Just hang tight, Daniel. Help is coming. He hangs up. I turn back to the monitors. Camera 2 shows one officer heading toward the elevator. Camera 6 shows the other entering the stairwell. Camera 7, the hallway outside my office, is clear. No distortion visible now. I watch as the officer in the stairwell begins to descend. He's moving cautiously, gun drawn, flashlight sweeping back and forth. The elevator indicator shows the other officer is on his way down. Camera 5, the hallway leading to the basement, is still empty. I hold my breath, watching the monitors intently. The officer in the stairwell has reached the 3rd floor. The elevator is passing the 2nd floor. Then I notice something on camera 6, a distortion in the air moving down the stairs behind the officer. He doesn't see it. It's following him. I grab my phone and call Mark again. The thing is behind the officer in the stairwell. I shout as soon as he answers. What, are you sure? Yes, tell him to look behind him. I can hear Mark relaying the message through his radio. On the monitor, I see the officer stop and turn around, his flashlight beam cutting through the stairwell. The distortion is gone. It was there a second ago, but now there's nothing. The officer says something into his radio, then continues downward more quickly now. Camera 5 shows the elevator doors opening. The 2nd officer steps out, looking around cautiously. Both officers are now in the basement, approaching my office from different directions. I should feel relieved, but something doesn't feel right. The distortions disappeared too easily. Where did they go? Camera 7 shows the 1st officer reaching my door. He knocks. Security, Daniel, it's the police. Open up. I move to the door, hesitating with my hand on the lock. What if it's a trick? What if these things can mimic human voices? Show me your badge, I call through the door. The officer holds his badge up to the peephole. It looks legitimate. I unlock the door and open it cautiously. The officer stands there, looking concerned. Are you all right, sir? Yes, I say, stepping back to let him in. But there's something in the building, multiple somethings. They were at my door earlier. The officer steps inside, looking around the small office. My partner is securing the perimeter of the basement. Can you show me what you saw on the cameras? I lead him to the desk and point at the monitors. Most of the upper floor cameras are offline now. They disabled them somehow. But I saw them moving around on multiple floors, and there was a distortion following you in the stairwell. The officer looks skeptical but professional. Could you describe these entities in more detail? They're like shadows but wrong somehow, too tall, limbs too long. They don't show up clearly on camera, just as distortions in the air. The officer nods, making notes. And you said there are multiple intruders? Yes, at least 3, maybe more. The radio on the officer's shoulder crackles. Johnson, you with the security guard? It's the other officer. Affirmative, he's unharmed. Says he saw multiple intruders on the security feeds. Roger that, I'm not seeing anything down here, heading back your way. The officer, Johnson, turns back to me. My partner will be here shortly. Then we'll do a sweep of the building together. I nod, grateful for their presence but still uneasy. Something still doesn't feel right. Camera 5 shows the 2nd officer walking down the hallway toward the security office. He's moving normally, gun holstered now, but there's something behind him, a distortion in the air following several feet back. Officer, I say, pointing at the screen, your partner. There's something behind him. Johnson looks at the monitor, frowning. I don't see anything. It's there, that wavering in the air like heat distortion. Johnson squints at the screen. I think that's just an artifact in the video. These old security systems can get glitchy. I shake my head frantically. No, it's following him, it's one of them. The 2nd officer reaches the door and knocks. Johnson opens it. All clear in the basement, the 2nd officer reports. No sign of any intruders. As he steps into the office, I can't help but stare at him intently. He looks normal, sounds normal, but the distortion was following him. Sir, are you all right? The 2nd officer asks, noticing my stare. There was something following you in the hallway, I say. I saw it on the camera. The officers exchange a glance. Mr. Weiss, Johnson says gently, we haven't found any evidence of intruders. The building seems secure. Check the cameras, I insist. The upper floors, they're all offline. Johnson moves to the computer and checks the system. Looks like there was a power fluctuation on the upper floors, probably caused by the storm. The cameras should reset automatically once power stabilizes. I shake my head. No, they disabled them. I saw them point at the cameras before they went offline. The 2nd officer puts a hand on my shoulder. Sir, have you been working a lot of night shifts lately? I shrug his hand off. Don't patronize me. I know what I saw. My phone rings. It's Mark. Daniel, the officer's with you. Yes, they're here, but they don't believe me. Put me on speaker, Mark says. I do as he asks. Officers, this is Mark Daniels, security supervisor. What's the situation? Mr. Daniels, we've done a preliminary sweep and found no signs of intruders, Johnson reports. The basement is secure and Mr. Weiss is unharmed. We're about to check the upper floors. Good. I'm still in the lobby with two more officers who just arrived. We'll start checking floors from the top down. Roger that, we'll work our way up and meet in the middle. Be careful, I interject. These things, they can hide somehow. They don't show up clearly on cameras. There's an awkward silence. Then Mark speaks again. Daniel, why don't you stay in the security office while the officers check the building? I'll come down once they've cleared everything. I can hear the concern in his voice, not concern about the intruders, concern about me. He thinks I'm losing it. Fine, I say tersely. The call ends, the officers prepare to leave. Lock the door behind us, Johnson advises. We'll be back once we've checked the building. I nod, not trusting myself to speak without shouting in frustration. They leave, and I lock the door as instructed. Then I return to the monitors. Camera 5 shows the officers heading toward the stairwell. There's no distortion following them now. Where did it go? Camera 1 shows Mark in the lobby with the two newly arrived officers. They're heading toward the elevator. Most of the other cameras remain offline. I can only see the lobby, first floor, and basement. I sit back in my chair, feeling a mix of fear and frustration. They don't believe me. They think I'm hallucinating or paranoid, but I know what I saw. The minutes tick by. I watch the few functioning cameras intently, looking for any sign of the distortions. Nothing appears. At 2:34 a.m., my phone rings again. It's Mark. Daniel, we've checked the entire building. There's no one here but us and the officers. Did you check every floor, every office? Yes, every floor, every stairwell, every accessible room. There's nothing. I'm about to argue when something on camera 7 catches my eye. The distortion is back, hovering outside my door. Mark, I say, my voice dropping to a whisper. It's outside my door again. What is the distortion? The thing, I can see it on camera 7. There's a pause, then Mark sighs. Daniel, I'm coming down. The officers are continuing their sweep, but I'm going to come down to the security office. No, don't come alone. I'll be fine. Just stay put. He hangs up before I can protest further. The distortion outside my door isn't moving. It just hovers there as if waiting. Camera 2 shows Mark entering the elevator in the lobby. The indicator shows it descending. The distortion suddenly moves, heading toward the elevator area. No, I whisper, it's going after Mark. I grab my phone and call him again. It goes straight to voicemail. The elevator must be interfering with the signal. Camera 5 shows the elevator doors opening. Mark steps out, looking around cautiously. The distortion is there, just out of his line of sight, near the corner where the hallway turns toward my office. I watch in horror as Mark walks directly toward it, unaware of its presence. As he passes the corner, the distortion moves, enveloping him for just a moment. Mark stumbles, putting a hand against the wall to steady himself. Then he continues walking, heading toward my office. The distortion is gone. There's a knock at my door. Daniel, it's Mark, open up. I stare at the door, then back at the monitor. It looks like Mark on the camera. Sounds like Mark at the door, but I saw the distortion touch him. Daniel, are you okay in there? I don't answer. My heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. Daniel, the officers have cleared the building. There's no one here. Please open the door so we can talk. His voice sounds normal, maybe a bit concerned, but normal. I move to the door, peer through the peephole. It's Mark, looking tired and worried. Show me your ID, I call through the door. Mark sighs, pulls out his security badge, and holds it up to the peephole. It's his badge with his photo. Still, I hesitate. Daniel, please, it's late, we're all tired. Let's talk about what you think you saw. Think I saw. Not what I saw, what I think I saw. I unlock the door but don't open it. Instead, I back away, moving behind my desk. The door opens. Mark steps in, looking around the small office before his eyes settle on me. You okay? You look pale. Something touched you in the hallway, I say. I saw it on the camera. Mark frowns. Nothing touched me. I did feel a cold spot near the corner, but that's probably just the air conditioning. It wasn't air conditioning. It was one of them. Mark closes the door behind him and approaches the desk. Daniel, I'm concerned about you. How long have you been doing these night shifts? 3 months, but that's not, and always alone, right? In this basement, staring at screens all night. Yes, but isolation can do strange things to the mind, Daniel, so can sleep deprivation. When was the last time you had a full night's sleep? I shake my head. This isn't about me being tired. I know what I saw. Mark sits on the edge of the desk. The officers found nothing. No intruders, no evidence of break-in, nothing unusual at all except some cameras offline due to power fluctuations from the storm. They're hiding. Or maybe the officers can't see them either. Mark sighs. I think you should take some time off, a few days at least, get some rest. I'm not crazy, Mark. I didn't say you were, but this job can mess with your head sometimes. All these empty hallways, shadows, strange noises in an old building. It's easy to start seeing things that aren't there. As he speaks, I notice something odd about his eyes. They seem different somehow, the same color but flatter. Less alive. What happened in the hallway, Mark, when that thing touched you? He blinks, looking confused. Nothing happened. I told you I felt a cold spot, that's all. You stumbled. I saw you put your hand on the wall. I did. I don't remember that. A chill runs down my spine. Mark doesn't remember stumbling. The Mark I know is meticulous, observant. He wouldn't forget something like that, especially not minutes after it happened. The officers should be finishing their sweep soon, Mark says, checking his watch. Once they give the all clear, we can both go home. I think we could use some rest. I nod slowly, not taking my eyes off him. Sure. That sounds good, Mark smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes, those flat, lifeless eyes. Why don't I make us some fresh coffee while we wait, he suggests, moving toward the small coffee maker in the corner. As he turns away, I see something on the back of his neck. Just for a moment, as his collar shifts, a dark patch of skin, not a bruise or a tattoo, more like his skin is, changing color. My mouth goes dry. Whatever touched Mark in the hallway did something to him. Actually, I say, trying to keep my voice steady, I think I'll pass on the coffee. I've had too much already. Mark turns back to me, that empty smile still on his face. Are you sure? It might help you stay alert. I'm sure. He shrugs and returns to the desk, sitting on the edge again, too close for comfort. So, tell me exactly what you think you saw tonight, from the beginning. I hesitate. If this isn't really Mark, or if something is controlling him, telling him what I know could be dangerous. Just shadows, I say, downplaying my earlier claims. Probably nothing. Like you said, the isolation gets to you. Mark tilts his head slightly, studying me. The gesture seems off somehow, too mechanical. That's not what you said earlier. You were quite insistent about intruders in the building. I was tired. Seeing things, Mark's smile widens a fraction. Yes, seeing things. My phone vibrates in my pocket, a text message. I don't dare check it with Mark watching me so intently. The officers should be calling soon, Mark says, glancing at the silent phone on the desk. Strange that they haven't reported in yet. I nod, saying nothing. Mark stands suddenly. I should go check on them. They might have found something after all. I thought you said the building was clear. It is, but protocol, you know. He moves toward the door. Stay here, I'll be back soon. As he reaches for the door handle, I notice his hand. The fingers seem longer than they should be, the joints more pronounced. He leaves, closing the door behind him. I don't hear him lock it, which means he expects to return. As soon as he's gone, I pull out my phone to check the text message. It's from a number I don't recognize. Not Mark, don't trust, hide. My blood runs cold. Who sent this? How do they know? I look at the cameras. Mark, or whatever looks like Mark, is walking down the hallway toward the elevator. His movements are smooth, but somehow wrong, like someone trying to imitate human walking without quite getting it right. Camera 1 shows the lobby. It's empty, no officers, no one. Where did everyone go? I try calling the number that sent the text. No answer. I call 911. 911, what's your emergency? This is Daniel Weiss at the Meridian building downtown. I need help immediately. There's something in the building. It's not human. It's pretending to be my supervisor. A pause. Sir, is this the same building where officers were dispatched earlier? Yes, but something's happened to them. They're gone. And my supervisor, something touched him, changed him. Sir, the officers reported all clear at that location 20 minutes ago. They found no intruders. My heart sinks. No, that's not possible. They were still searching the building. According to their report, they completed their search and found nothing suspicious. Just a security guard who appeared to be suffering from exhaustion and possible hallucinations. I feel sick. That's not true. Something is in this building, something not human. Sir, is your supervisor there with you now? No, he just left, but it's not him. Something is pretending to be him. Another pause. Sir, I'm going to dispatch medical assistance to your location. Please stay on the line. I don't need medical help. I need police, SWAT, something. Help is on the way, sir. Please remain calm. I hang up in frustration. They think I'm crazy or having some kind of breakdown. Camera 5 shows Mark returning to the hallway outside my office. He's moving more quickly now, with that same unnatural gait. I need to get out of here. I grab my keys and phone, move to the door, and press my ear against it. No sound from outside. Camera 7 shows Mark approaching my door. He's only about 20 feet away. It's now or never. I unlock the door as quietly as possible, open it just enough to slip through, and step into the hallway, turning away from where Mark is approaching, and toward the emergency exit at the far end. I hear footsteps behind me, quickening. Daniel, where are you going? I don't answer, don't look back, I just run. The emergency exit is 30 feet away. 20, 10. Daniel, stop. The voice doesn't even sound like Mark anymore. It's deeper, resonant in a way that human voices aren't. I hit the emergency exit bar with both hands, bursting through the door into the stairwell. The alarm blares, painfully loud in the confined space. Up or down, down leads to the parking garage, but my car is parked on the street. Up leads to the lobby and the main entrance. I choose up, taking the stairs 2 at a time. Behind me, the door slams open again. I hear something moving in the stairwell below, fast, too fast to be human. I reach the lobby level, slam through the door, and sprint across the marble floor toward the main entrance. The lobby is empty, no sign of the officers who were supposedly here earlier. The glass doors leading outside are just ahead. Freedom, safety. I hit the doors at full speed and bounce off. They're locked. Of course they're locked. It's after hours. I fumble with my keycard, trying to swipe it through the reader while keeping an eye on the stairwell door. The reader beeps, the light turns green, and I hear the magnetic lock disengage. I push the door open and step outside into the rain. The street is empty, no patrol cars, no sign of the officers who supposedly cleared the building and left. I run to the corner looking for any sign of life, any help. Nothing. The rain has driven everyone inside, and at nearly 3 a.m. downtown is deserted. My phone. I can call a cab, get far away from here. I pull it out, but the screen remains dark. The battery is dead, though it was at 60% just minutes ago. A sound behind me makes me turn. Mark, or what looks like Mark, is standing at the top of the steps leading to the Meridian building's entrance. He's not trying to chase me anymore, he's just watching, waiting. I turn and run down the street, away from the building, away from that thing wearing Mark's face. After several blocks, I duck into an all-night diner. There are a few patrons inside and a tired-looking waitress who eyes my soaking wet appearance with suspicion. Phone, I gasp, out of breath. Can I use your phone? She points to an old payphone near the bathrooms. I thank her and rush over, digging in my pockets for change. I call 911 again, report my situation. They say they'll send someone to the diner to take my statement. I order coffee and wait, jumping at every shadow, every sound. 30 minutes later, 2 officers arrive. Not the same ones from earlier, thankfully. I tell them everything, about the shadows on the cameras, about Mark changing after the distortion touched him, about the officers who supposedly cleared the building but whom I never saw leave. They listen patiently, exchange glances occasionally, take notes. They promise to investigate, to send a team to the Meridian building right away. One officer stays with me while the other goes back to their car to call it in. So you work security at Meridian? The remaining officer asks conversationally. Yes, night shift, 3 months now. Always alone? Yes, he nods thoughtfully. That can be tough, all those empty hallways, shadows playing tricks on you. Something about his phrasing makes me look at him more closely, his eyes. They're flat, lifeless, just like Mark's were. Your partner's taking a while, I say, trying to keep my voice steady. The officer smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. He's just being thorough. I glance toward the window. The patrol car is still there, but I can't see the other officer. I need to use the restroom, I say, standing abruptly. The officer nods. Go ahead, I'll be right here. The bathroom is small, just one stall and a sink. There's a tiny window above the toilet, barely big enough for a person to squeeze through. But it's my only chance. I climb onto the toilet, unlock the window, and push it open. Cold rain hits my face as I peer out into the alley behind the diner. Behind me, I hear the bathroom door open. Daniel, the officer's voice, but wrong somehow, deeper, resonant. There's nowhere to go. I don't look back. I push myself through the window, scraping my sides on the frame, and fall awkwardly into the alley below. Pain shoots through my ankle as I land, but I force myself up and start running again, limping now. Behind me, I hear the officer calling for backup on his radio. But who is he really calling? More of them. I don't know how many there are. I don't know what they want. I only know that they're spreading, taking people over one by one, and no one believes me. It's still raining as I limp through the empty streets of downtown, looking for somewhere to hide, somewhere safe. But I'm beginning to realize there is no safe place, not anymore. They're in the police department now. They could be anywhere, anyone, and they're looking for me. I found this abandoned building to hide in. Been here for hours now, watching the streets below through a broken window. Police cars have driven by several times, slowing near the building but not stopping. They're hunting me. I'm writing this on a discarded laptop I found, using the last of its battery power. The Wi-Fi is unsecured, probably from the coffee shop next door. I'm posting this as a warning. There are things living among us. Things that can take our shapes, wear our faces, speak with our voices. They're spreading through my city, maybe beyond. Watch for the signs, the flat, lifeless eyes, the slightly wrong movements, the cold spots where they pass. And if you see a distortion in the air, like heat waves where there should be none, run. Run and don't look back, because once they touch you, you become one of them. My laptop battery is almost dead and dawn is breaking. I can't stay here much longer. I need to keep moving, keep hiding. I don't know how this ends for me. I only know it doesn't end well. The distortions are in the stairwell now. I can see them moving up floor by floor. They've found me.